Hello children. In this video lecture, we will learn chapter 2 Sound of Music of Beehive. We will see part 1 here. Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it. Written by Deborah Cowley. First take a glimpse of about the author. Deborah Cowley was born in India, grew up in Toronto, Canada, graduated in English from University of Western Ontario and moved to Ottawa for a job. She is a writer and broadcaster. She has traveled the worldwide and written more than 100 articles for different editions of the Reader's Digest, many of which have been translated into dozens of languages. She has been an air broadcaster for CBC Radio in Washington, D.C., and worked for CBC Television in London and Cairo, Egypt. Let's know more about the chapter. The lesson has been divided into two parts. Both are associated with the subject of music and the personalities who made music their life. First part is about Evelyn Glennie, who in spite of being deaf earned a name in the field of playing the xylophone. Let's know more about the characters. In part 1, two main characters are there. Evelyn Glennie, the renowned xylophone player who was deaf but managed to overcome her disability. Ron Forbes, the percussionist who spotted the potential within the young Evelyn and motivated her to play drums. Let's know more about Evelyn Glennie. Evelyn Glennie is the world's premier solo percussionist with over 30 years of experience in the industry. She fought against her hearing disability and made her life a success story. She is a multi-percussionist. She can play thousands of instruments with perfection. She achieved this status in spite of her disability. She was profound deaf, but she learned to listen with her body instead of the ears. She is a source of inspiration for thousands of disabled persons. Evelyn Glennie turned out to be the most sought after musician international in spite of her disability. She was profoundly deaf but learned to listen to music with her body instead of ears. She became the perfect player of xylophone and earned huge name and fame. Here we will start explanation with summary of the chapter. First, I will read for you the lines given in our textbook, that is before you read. God may have taken her hearing, but He has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. These lines are told by James Blade. He was also a master percussionist for her. The above comment means here God took away her hearing power. She was disabled, but He gave her an extraordinary thing, and that was the sense of feeling. She could feel very deeply than the normal people, and that is why she can express music so well. This biographical feature is a brief account how Evelyn Glennie, a Scottish musician, was able to achieve the greatest heights in the field of music. Let's see how she fulfilled her dreams. In the beginning of the chapter, the scene was set at the platform of the underground train. During rush hours, people pushed each other to board the train or to get their way. Amongst them, a 16-year-old girl looked nervous and excited. She could feel the vibrations of the upcoming train. She got an admission in the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London. She was nervous because it was her first day in that college. At that moment, she was in Scotland and leaving for London. Here, the author compared her with Scottish farms. Scotland is full of farms and countryside. Evelyn is not habituated with fast life. Moving from a rural area to a fast life is a smaller challenge, but for Evelyn, the bigger challenge is her deafness. She is profound deaf and she has to adjust herself in the new surroundings. In the beginning, through platform scene, the author makes us aware about the condition of Evelyn and her thoughts. A hustle bustle of the platform portrays the nervousness and state of mind of that little girl, who is young and full of hope like any fresh fruit of farm. And she has to cope up with this harsh world with all odds which God has given to her. In para 2, Evelyn Glennie slowly lost the power of hearing. One day she was completely deaf. Her mother, Isabel Glennie, noticed her deafness first time when she was 8 years old. She remembered that Evelyn was waiting for her turn to play the piano, but when her name was called out, she did not respond. At that moment, her mother realized that Evelyn did not respond to her name. That means she did not hear her name being called out. Evelyn lost her sense of hearing gradually. In the beginning, when she could not hear partially, she managed to hide her disability from her friends and teachers. When Evelyn was 11 years old, her marks had deteriorated. So, the headmistress requested her parents to take her to the doctor. The doctor found that she had lost her sense of hearing as a result of gradual nerve damage. The doctor advised her parents that they should get hearing aids for her and suggested that Evelyn should send to the school of deaf children. Evelyn commented, "Everything suddenly looked black. It means that all of a sudden one gets bad news which is not expected. At that time, one can see only blackness, darkness all around." In this para, we can see stress, tension, restlessness were part of Evelyn's nature. She tried hard to hide her deafness from all, but after some time she had to face this reality. Even at that time, she felt darkness all around her. How the transition in her nature had come and how she achieved her goal in life. Let's read in next para. Although Evelyn got such a shocking news, still she was determined and she did not wish to give up. As she was passionate about music, she was determined to live life like normal people and follow her interest in music. When Evelyn saw a girl playing the xylophone, she wished to play it too. As we know, to learn music one must have a sense of hearing, but Evelyn had lost it already. So most of the teacher denied to teach her music. But Ron Forbes was different. He found some different potential in Evelyn and agreed to teach her. He decided he would teach Evelyn music in some different way. He took two large drums and he tuned them to different notes. So the sound produced by both the drums was different. He informed Evelyn not to try to listen it with ears but try to sense it. Try to feel music some other way. Evelyn suddenly realized that the upper part of her body, above the waist, could feel the higher notes of the drum, and the lower part of the body could feel the lower notes of the drum. After repeated practice, she could hear sound, although she could not hear. Instead, she could sense different notes in different parts of her body. Ron Forbes taught Evelyn to respond to different sounds using different parts of her body. That was how she could identify the sounds and the different vibrations. Now the hurdle had been overcome and her career went upward as she had determination to become famous and a good musician, and she also did a lot of hard work to achieve it. Here, Evelyn reflects from willpower, a unique characteristic of her personality. She has not lost hope. With firm determination and intentness, she wished to play xylophone, and that firm sense of purpose made her successful to find the teacher who identified her potential and helped her to learn music and to overcome all the hurdles of it. Once Evelyn overcame the hurdle, she started sensing the different sounds through the different parts of her body. She progressed in her career. Evelyn toured the United Kingdom with her youth orchestra. Evelyn decided to make music her life when she reached the age of 16 years. She gave an audition for the admission to the Royal Academy of Music and secured highest marks in the history of the academy. Initially, she performed in a group, and as she started gaining confidence, she even started performing alone. By the time as she completed her 3 years course at the Royal Academy of Music, she had achieved all the top awards. Evelyn's willingness and hard work helped her to do unstoppable progress in her life. At the age of 16 years, she secured an admission in the Royal Academy of Music with highest marks. Even she started to give solo performances and secured all top awards. Evelyn was very humble and down to earth. If someone recognized her achievements, she did not acknowledge. She said that if you have a target and willingness to achieve it, you will definitely achieve it. With the same determination, she had achieved her goal. She had an aim to become the topmost famous musician of the world, and she did that. She gained mastery of almost 1,000 musical instruments, and she became the most popular multi percussionist of the world. She has a very busy schedule. She has programs and concerts all over the world. She excelled in the field of music by the power of her hard work and firm determination. She can play thousands of instruments with perfection. She became the most famous multi percussionist of the world. She reached the pinnacle in spite of being profoundly deaf. The author here tells the reader that if you watch Evelyn's work, she works so effortlessly, although she could not hear. She could identify the slightest, the minutest sound made by the musical instruments. During an interview with the author, which lasted for 2 hours, she had not missed a single word. She commented that the man with bushy beard only troubled her because she was unable to see their lips due to beard. She did not only notice their lips, but she also noticed the whole face, that is, the entire expressions of the speaker, to identify what the person is saying. It helped her a lot to recognize the words of the speaker. Even Evelyn's speech is flawless with Scottish accent. She explained even about her clear speech because she had learned language till the age of 11 because at that time she could hear clearly. Evelyn had also learned, despite of her deafness, two new languages, French and basic Japanese. She has not counted herself weak and profound deaf. She overcame all the hurdles. She has achieved mastery on identification of all kinds of minuest musical sounds. Her flawless speech even impressed the author. She can even read expressions of speaker and is able to understand their speech. She explained that music creates sensation in her skin, in her cheekbones, and even in her hair. Every part of her body easily responds music. While playing xylophone, she uses sticks so she can sense the vibrations of sound which pass through the sticks up into her fingertips. When she plays drum, she leans towards the drum so she can feel echo flowing into her body. Whenever Evelyn performs, she performs on a wooden platform and she removes her shoes so that she can feel the vibrations of the musical instruments pass through the floor into her feet and up her legs. That is how she can feel the sound of the musical instruments. If you desire and try hard to get what you like, all your surroundings will definitely help you to achieve your desired goal. This is true in case of Evelyn. She has used all of her power. She feels and understands the vibrations of all musical instruments and has got mastery and excellence over it. Evelyn always delighted her audience with excellent solo performances. In the year 1991, she was presented with Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award for performing solo. In the beginning of the chapter, we read the lines said by James Blades, who is a master percussionist also. He stated that God took away Evelyn's hearing ability, but in return, he gave her a strong power of sensing sounds, which enabled her to become a great musician. She has given here a message that it is not good to be down. Life is great. Be an optimist. Evelyn confessed that she used to work very hard and sometimes she worked harder than classical musicians. She also gave free concerts in hospitals and prisons. She also took classes for young musicians who wished to learn music. Anne Richlin of Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children commented about Evelyn that she is an inspiration for all. She is an ideal specialty for deaf children. When they got to know her story, they felt that they could accomplish everything. They could fulfill all their dreams. She has never felt proud on her achievements and understood her duty too. She had always helped needy and dreamers to achieve their goals like her. She has indeed proved her true spirit as a human being, as well as a true pupil of Ron Forbes. Evelyn Glennie has achieved so much in life than those people who are double her age. She has achieved much popularity, many awards, and respect. Generally, in orchestra, the percussion instruments are placed at the back end of the orchestra or at the side, but Evelyn's solo performances has brought those instruments in front of the orchestra. Evelyn's story is an inspiration to those people who are physically disabled. They feel that if she can achieve her dreams, they can also. She has given a lot of pleasure to her audience by playing such good music. She has not gained identity alone, but she has set an example for all disabled that they can achieve any damn dream if they have strong willpower, passion, and aspiration for it. No disability of them will be a hurdle anymore. Children, here I have given you answers of our textual exercise, which is given on page number 20. Please learn and write in your notebook. You have to write meanings also. After every para I have given meanings. You have to copy meanings as well as question answer in your English notebook. Revise it again and again and learn it thoroughly. Thank you.